Lawrence Kohlberg's theory claims that our development of moral reasoning happens in six stages. The stages themselves are structured in three levels: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. To understand this better, let us imagine a conflict that happens in a Lumad community in Surigao del Sur. A fully armed military squad entered an alternative school for Lumad children. In one classroom, they commanded the children and teacher to go out in the schoolyard and kneel on the hard earth with their hands over their head while the soldiers dismantled one classroom. Several onlookers within and outside school, who are at various stages of moral development, are watching the spectacle. Let's focus on each one of these onlookers and see what they are thinking and how they justify their reaction and behavior towards the fight. Stage 1. We make moral judgment based on obedience and punishment. Juan sees what is happening to his schoolmates from afar and wants to help, but he doesn't because he is afraid that the adults might punish him if he does. His sense of good or bad is directly related on whether he gets punished or not. He asks himself, how can I avoid punishment? At stage 2, we are motivated by self-interest. Maria tries to intervene and decides to calm the other children who are scared. She knows that she might be punished if she is caught by the soldiers, but she knows that it might be her kneeling on the earth sooner or later. If she goes to their aid now, then they might also help her in the future. She is asking herself, what's in it for me? At stage 3, interpersonal accord and conformity guide our moral judgment. Vina sees what's happening and wants to intervene, but she realizes all the others are just watching. She decides not to get involved. She wants others to see the good girl who is conforming with the ethics of the community. She asks herself, what do others think of me? At stage 4, we value authority and want to maintain social order. The commander of the soldier, seeing everyone looking and observing, shouts, this school is teaching the kids that coal mining is bad and that only rich corporations can benefit from them. They are teaching them how to become communists and fight the government. He feels that above all, it is important to follow the Philippine laws such as anti-terrorism law and the Philippine Mining Act. Otherwise, chaos breaks out. He feels it's his role to uphold rules to help sustain a functioning society. He asks himself, how can I maintain law and order? At stage 5, we understand rules as social contract, as opposed to strict order. Bang, who watches from afar, is not sure how she feels about this. To her, rules make sense only if they serve the right purpose. Obviously, the law does not want children to grow up hating the state. But the volunteer teachers are only teaching indigenous children who do not receive any form of education from the government itself. Beng asks herself, does the rule truly serve all members of the community? At stage 6, we are guided by the universal ethical principles. News of what happened reached a group of activists and lawyers who banded together to demand from the court that the military remove their camp from the school. According to international laws, schools must be zones of peace, where children are protected even in times of conflict. The commitment to justice carries with it an obligation to disobey unjust rules. The activists' and lawyers' highest moral principle is compassion. They believe that all people should have the right to self-determination. And they ask, what are the abstract ethical principles that serve my understanding of justice? At the pre-conventional level, Juan is driven by fear and Maria by self-interest. Both base their decision on the possible direct consequences on them and not by social norms. This form of reasoning is common among children. At the conventional level, Vina responds to peer pressure and the commander follows his orders from the higher ups and the law. Their morality is centered on what society regards as right. At this level, the fairness of rules is seldom questioned. We tend to think like this during adolescence and young adulthood.